Do we miss any loot? No. Okay. Dragon's Eye. My dragon eye. More map related stuff. Which direction are we headed? Oh, we should go that way. Yeah. We go... Oh, wait. No, we go up first. Because we can't get up. Right. So we'll grab this. That's fine. I'll come back to you, sir. Oh, there's this here, which probably means I didn't need to scout. It's fine. Go past it. Mahakam is unlike an iceberg. What's visible on the surface is but a tiny fraction of the whole. In order to truly grasp the enormity of the Dwarven realm, one must venture beneath the earth, traverse mile-long passages, peer into chasms that seem to stretch into eternity. Before long, foreigners can begin to lose all sense of time and space. The mineshafts appear identical, one after another, as if reflected in a mirror. Ooh, sounds horrific. But do I get that if I win? Use your leader ability. Okay. Oh, jeez. Look into the eyes of your foe. What separates you is but only a mirror. It's my hero ability. Choose a stone and swap it with the stone on its left. If there is none to move, is the right one's place. So we have to make them mirror? So... Oh. Okay. So we want to swap it with the one on the left. Is that not a mirror? Oh. Does everything have to be a... does it... yes. So we want... yeah. Back. Forward. Back. Swap. Back. Swap. 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 There we go. Oh wait, did we just come out over here? Weird. Mirrored. Gotta get some loot. This isn't the rump, is it? It's just some random town that's abandoned. I mean, if you're abandoning towns on the surface, probably not great. Especially if it's like a fraction of your kingdom, but you're not even on that part. Let's grab this minecart. There's a house there. Hello? Is this possible? Madness, pure madness. Everywhere looks exactly the same. How am I supposed to remember? So many corridors, shafts, and chambers. Okay, we're in a house. Just leave the house. There's a door. Just gotta leave it.
The dwarves are demanding a pretty sum, but their steel's worthy of any crown.
Any crown? My crown? Get it? It's got a crown on me head. So you right? Your Majesty, a human traveller. He offers to sell us the treasure map. Says he sorted it out once, but got caught in a blizzard and now fears to return to the mountains. He swears by the gods, should we follow it exactly, we'll recover something. There's a mine shaft. Isn't that where we just passed? No. Right here? There's a mine thing with a thing in a house. Oh, there's another track there. Okay. Sure. It's fine, don't worry about it, mate. No dramas. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I'm right over here, collecting this little... There's an avalanche. House? No? Lonely rock. There's dwarves here. Yo.
Meve noted a crowd of dwarves. They were several dozen, many holding baskets brimming with dried sausages, soft, puffy pretzels, and jugs of frothy beer.
What is this gathering?
She asked Gabor.
These
Is it a
folk,
wedding?
they're the parents of youngsters who are to return today from their Dreckthag.
What does that mean?
Gabor proceeded to explain that the Dreckthag was a trek upon which the local dwarves would embark when they reached maturity. During this year-long voyage, young folk would taste of life beyond their home. Yet if they failed to return on time, they would be stripped of all rights and privileges accorded to Mahakam's natives.
See, in recent years, young folks' blood's been boiling on account of the strict laws in force here.
Gabor added.
So, we send them out. Let them taste life in the lowlands. Once they've learned for themselves what it's like to live among humans, they come back and ain't likely to complain.
Customarily, only a few dwarves ever decided to remain in the valleys for good. That year, however, was different.
Deadline's the Mora. And 40 Dreckthagers still haven't returned.
Their parents
dead.
now worried if some misfortune had not befallen them. The Mahakaman Guard had sent out patrols to the near reaches of the valleys. They returned not having seen anything distressing, while the humans living at the foot of the massif had been largely unwilling to talk.
Rob's
The
killed.
guard captain, a dwarf with a fiery red beard, removed his helmet, wiped the sweat from his brow, and addressed Meve.
Your Majesty, we need to find our youth. Perhaps you'd be willing to go out and search. Human folk are more like to tell you if they saw anything out of the ordinary of late. Naturally, there'd be something in it for you too.
One could say I myself have lost a son,
Meve gripped the captain's hand firmly.
and I know well the pain that comes. I shall do all in my might to spare you at least that.
Meve set off, the hopeful gazes of the dwarven parents bidding her farewell.
Welcome.
The queen sent a scout ahead. Sometime later, she heard his horn. 3 blasts, 2 short, 1 long.
An ambush!
Meve expected to combat beasts or robbers. Yet upon her force descended warriors with squirrel tails attached to their helms. Scoia'tael.
Hey. The dwarves joined Scoia'tael. Meve was preparing to clash with Rigged's monsters, Nilfgaardians, but Scoia'tael, in the high mountains, near the very gates of Mahakam? What did they seek? The queen did not know, yet one conclusion seemed clear. At the very least, they sought her head on a pike. It's a bit rude. I just came here for a good time. We'll keep him. Let's go to Drummer Boys. Get you definitely. Keep the hobo, I guess. Let's see if this hand can win.
Scoia'tael! Don't let them escape!
You shall taste of your own medicine.
So that's fine. That's why we kept this guy.
Cursed
He's
traitors.
gonna wait 3 turns.
A dram of glue, a bit of soldering, a rivet or two, and it's good as new.
Oh. They're garbage. They don't even trigger the guy's abilities. They just wasted those 2 cards.
Right! Come on!
Every time
Who's
I'm gonna
back?
boost up by 1.
Scoia'tael are a plague. They blight all they touch.
Hobo Jim.
Aye.
Let's go knock back. Okay, we boosted Hobo Jim.
Got a hearty hankering for Gwent.
For Gwent. I mean, let's do this.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
The hard well, and then we're gonna pass. Oh, you passed. We're also gonna pass. Ooh. You know what? Let's get rid of this guy. Start with the firebomb.
Catch!
Boom, little A.
Order, heal an ally. Could you not? I guess let's go.
I smell a leak.
Yeah, let's knock her, just to damage her. She hit her.
We must stick together.
No, she only used by 3. That's rude. Well, let's archer her.
Lyria!
What you gonna do? You gonna play another one of these?
Well, if anyone's got any hooch left.
Yeah. That was a bit rude. Let's play Dwarf.
All right, that's no problem.
It's damage unit by 10. Bam. 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 Okay. What are you gonna do?
None shall tread on us!
Okay, that's fine. That's not so fine. I think that's gone.
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
Things are back to get dull. Oh, the dog drank me wine.
Now we will see who is weak!
Let's check out this lady.
When will you ever learn?
Let's knock him backwards. Bam. They're burning. It's a bit weird dwarves teaming up with elves.
I shall not fail!
Or shall you? Let's play a bronze card. Aim 1 charge. Damage an enemy and all our enemies at the same time by 1. Let's play this. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. And. Just gonna deal.
Ah, they used tired my tongue about that.
Oh, he's gonna kill her. No. You bastard. You bloody bastard. How do you like this? Ugh. What you gonna do?
Have strength, my love.
You're an assassin. That's unfortunate because I used her. I'm done. Just to kill something to go back there, doesn't she?
Elven blood.
Uh-huh.
Scoia'tael! Attack!
Yeah.
They're so young. No wonder they were easily manipulated.
As soon as the battle had come to an end, the prisoners were brought before the Queen. All, without exception, were dwarves, and all looked to be youthful dwarves.
Mystery solved.
Muttered Meve. In fact, these were the missing Drekthagers. Instead of returning home, they had enlisted with guerrillas fighting for non-human rights. But what had prompted so drastic a decision?
The elves.
I was impatient. Wanted badly to turn 50. I couldn't wait to see human cities. Vitsima, Tretigo, Novigrad.
Said one of the dwarven prisoners while pressing a bandage to a bleeding wound.
And you know the welcome that awaited me there. I was spit upon and called names. I saw ghettos, massacres. And how was I to go back to the mines after that? We must fight while we still can. Before the humans come to cut us down, we must tell the rest of ours the same. Pull all Mahakam into the fight.
Meve's soldiers stood waiting for her to protest, to accuse the dwarf of lying. But the Queen could not pretend she did not understand why the dwarf had taken up arms. Without entering into a discussion, she ordered the prisoners taken to be tried and judged by their kin and elders. Along her way, Meve heard cries. She rushed to see what the ruckus was about. Upon seeing Black Rayla spattered with blood, she expected the worst. Reynard could only confirm the Queen's fears.
She entered the wagon unnoticed. The wagon carrying the prisoners. She then cut their throats, one by one.
40 dwarves. Alone.
They were shackled. They could not defend themselves.
Ooh.
Rayla had nothing to say in her defense. In point of fact, she exuded pride.
Mahakam had been free of Scoia'tael, till now. We'd have done all a questionable favour by bringing back a wagon full of enraged youth wearing squirrel tails. They'd have posed as martyrs for a just cause. They'd have shown off their scars and persuaded the clans to make war on humans. All that deserved to be nipped in the bud.
You just martyred them.
Meve could see the blood rushing to Reynard's head. When he finally spoke, it was clear he was holding the reins of his emotions, preventing himself from exploding with some difficulty.
Your Grace, we must banish her, drive her off. This was in no way ordinary insubordination. This was a grave crime.
Your Majesty, you know I rarely meddle in your affairs,
said Isbel.
Yet for this, I cannot remain silent. This woman must go.
She's got a good ability, though. She's a psychopath. Sorry.
Rayla, 'tis a fine line that separates a soldier, a warrior, from one who commits murder,
said Meve.
That line you crossed today. You are to leave my ranks immediately. And never do I wish to see you again.
Rayla said nothing. She merely bowed in an excessively courtly manner, then moved off down the slope. Yet even once she disappeared, a clear red trail remained in the snow where she had passed. A trail of dwarven blood that had dripped from her armor.
Rayla.
The Lyrians remained silent throughout their return. Upon spying their downcast eyes and somber means, the dwarves awaiting the return of their offspring dispersed to their homes, leaving baskets full of treats in the snow. No one asked any questions of Meve. Luckily so, as the Queen would not have known how to answer.
Yeah, my soldier murdered your children.
Didn't he find nothing? Not a trace. What could have happened?
Oh, they did. If you go down the slope slightly, you'll see them butchered. Well, they still in my wagon. You can be like, here's a wagon of butchered children. 50-year-old children. Awkward. It's unfortunate. Rayla had such a good ability. Why'd you have to be a psychopath? Rayla, why? Why? Would you like to be butchered by someone that I... The greatest owner of this trading post, a dwarf by the name of Enko Delbrain, has invited you to browse his wares. How shall we respond? Let's buy some wood. Thanks, sir.
The Queen noted a building with unusually lavish ornamentation, including shining bronze roof tiles and glistening rock crystal window panes. An important clan dwelled there, Gabor explained. The Breckenrigs.
Could you introduce me?
Meve asked.
Perhaps I can convince them to intercede with Bruver on my behalf.
Perhaps.
The clan head, Iva, invited Meve to an exquisite feast. But when she broached the subject of the war raging just outside Mahakam's borders, the dwarf changed the subject at once. Looking around the interior, Meve quickly understood why. The walls were ordained with Nilfgaardian tapestries and rugs. Gifts from friendly Imperial envoys, no doubt. Meve prepared to leave, convinced she had wasted her time, when someone clasped her shoulder and pulled her into a darkened room. Her kidnapper turned out to be a young dwarf. Female, it seemed, dressed in her nightshirt.
Fair enough.
She introduced herself as Iva's daughter, Eudora Breckenrigs, and openly admitted she had eavesdropped on Meve's dinner conversation.
Listen, me dad's stubborner than an old goat, but I'll convince him to help ye. For a wee favour, that is.
And what's that?
What?
I want you to steal something from the clan archive. Historiae Mahakamorum, 'tis called. See, me dad won't let me betroth me sweetekin Zoltan. Says the codex forbids marrying a dwarf who's left the mountains. But there's precedent. Just such a case described in that document. If I can show it to Da, he'll have to change his mind.
Meve felt sympathy for Eudora and wanted to help her, especially considering the favor Eudora could do her in return. But she fully realized if her attempt to break into the archive ended badly, it would result in a tremendous scandal Bruva Hoog would not soon forget.
The pot's worth the play, I believe. Fine. I accept your offer.
They then shook hands, sealing the deal. Meve had to bite her tongue to stop from crying out, for the young she-dwarf had the grip of a brawny blacksmith. Meve returned to her company and, massaging her sore hand, presented Eudora's offer. Gascon volunteered for the task at once.
Thievery's my forte. The dwarves won't notice a single mothball out of place.
Gascon snuck into the archive under the cover of darkness. Just as he was tucking Eudora's desired document into his cloak, he heard dwarven boots clanking down the stairs.
Damn it!
Gascon swore.
I can't let them catch me.
Bam! At the campfire, Gascon had proclaimed himself a true master of stealth. He claimed he could cross the Novigrad marker in full light of day, wearing naught but a jester's cap with bells, and not a soul would notice. Well, the time had come for the Duke of Dogs to show his bark had some bite. To escape, move Gascon light-footed to the bottom right corner of the battlefield. Move Gascon using your leader. Okay.
Ah!
Yeah. Okay. We got some moves. Using one position to the right. If it reaches the edge, it turns around. How close can I be? Oh. Choose the Mahakam Guard and force them to turn around. Wait for Mahakam Guard to take a step. How am I supposed to move now? And turn? Okay. They're gonna see.
Stop! Who's there?
So it's two cards. Okay, let's give this another try. Let's go across. He's gonna see us if we go across. Let's turn around.
Who's there?
What a knob.
What
that was
knob?
close.
Let's go hit it. Then hit it. Then hand. Then let's go down. Let's go across. Let's go across. We have to play a card. Let's turn this guy around.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. Okay, let's move across. Let's move down. Let's move down. Let's wait.
Just a bit more.
Let's leave.
Easy as pie.
Easy as pie. Oh,
Luckily, Gascon managed to do the deed quietly, so the dwarves never found out who had broken in. As agreed, Meve handed Eudora the stolen document.
Ha!
The dwarf shouted, raising the parchment in a triumphant gesture.
Da can't do nothing to stop her making vows now. I've got to write Zoltan right quick. Thanks. Thanks a million times over.
You still have to help me. Army's horn.
And Eudora did her part too. Soon after, the Queen learned there'd been a gathering of the clans, and Ivor had indeed spoken on her behalf. She could only hope the elder Breckenriggs had swayed Bruva Hoog as well.
Eudora Breckenriggs Chive. Oh, I truly like the sound of that.